This is a special edition of World News Tonight with David Muir, reporting tonight from Paris.
Good evening tonight from Paris, a city stunned by the magnitude of the terror that has unfolded here. But tonight, this country is sending a message back, launching multiple airstrikes at this hour against ISIS targets in Syria. France launching warplanes bombing the ISIS stronghold of Raqqa. Retaliation for those attacks, 3 hours of terror. And there is now an international manhunt underway. Our entire team is on this, the manhunt, the airstrikes, but first, the chilling new images of the terror as it unfolded here. Tonight, Paris remains a city on edge. Mourners gathering here at the Place de la République, laying flowers. The deputy mayor telling me today they have never seen anything like it. But when you see the bullet holes straight through the windows of the restaurants that they drove by and fired in on innocent people, that's something that's entirely new.
Yeah. I must say, this is not Paris. This is not Paris.
You can see the bullet holes where they fired indiscriminately right through the windows of the restaurant while people were having dinner inside. They've now placed flowers here to remember the 15 victims in these 2 restaurants alone. And if you come across the street, you can actually see the memorial that's been growing by the hour here in Paris. People coming out to all of these sites to remember all of those who were lost. Including this young family, bringing their little boy to light candles. But telling me paying tribute in this small way is still not enough.
I don't think coming is enough. It's not enough to understand.
We met so many families out across Paris today, and that is our broadcast tonight from Paris. I'm David Muir. I thank you for watching, and from all of us here at ABC News, have a good weekend.
This is a special edition of World News Tonight with David Muir, reporting tonight from Paris.
Good evening tonight from Paris, where this country has declared war against ISIS. This evening, the airstrikes, the aircraft carrier soon on the move, and the dramatic scene playing out as authorities thought they were zeroing in on that suspected 8th attacker. Tonight, what they're planning as new video now emerges of the attacks here, the joy just before it all turned dark. For the first time, the moments before, Paris was forever changed. These photographs now emerging from inside that concert hall. And we met Roman Renewal, who lived near 2 of the restaurants targeted. He told me it was his responsibility to be there with the victims who were dying. Why did you kneel down beside them?
What could I do? Ignore them? You can't help. You can just show feelings to people. Don't let people die alone. You just try to ease pain, but what can you do?
Sensing it was his responsibility. Finally tonight here, the Eiffel Tower has now been lit up to honor, to remember the victims here in Paris. And paying tribute right there at the Eiffel Tower tonight were so many Americans wanting them to know we care. When we arrived, the tower lit up in the colors of this country, and right in the shadow of the Eiffel Tower, the Americans paying tribute. She, of course, remembers 9/11 in the U.S. and now the terror attacks here.
Back then, we were on our way to work. Over here, we're on our way to sleep. And 2 days, it just completely turns you inside out.
And Andy and Julia Hawthorne from Austin, Texas. They were here to celebrate her 40th birthday. They were at the top of the Eiffel Tower Friday night when they learned of the terror attacks.
We were at the top when we heard about it.
The top of the tower.
Top of the tower, yeah. And the news, all our family members began to send us text messages. Are you safe? Are you safe? And we didn't know why.
Tonight, as they prepare to go back home to Texas, they wanted to return to the Eiffel Tower lit up. It was a beautiful sight there tonight, and thank you for watching here on a Monday evening. I'm David Muir. I hope to see you right back here tomorrow.
This is a special edition of World News Tonight with David Muir, reporting tonight from Paris.
Good evening tonight from Paris, and we begin with the breaking news that global manhunt. They're now searching for a second fugitive who could be the 9th attacker. And the potential new terror threat tonight, fears of a bomb. Today outside Paris, we went to the scene where investigators believe those 2 brothers and the other attackers might have been the night before the attack. You can see the activity here as well. It's believed the 8th attacker might have rented 2 rooms here at this hotel right over my shoulder. We are not far from the soccer stadium where the terror began to unfold last Friday night, and it's believed the attackers might have been staying here in the nights leading up to the attacks. Investigators have been here to this Paris suburb. You can see the police presence, the school across the street, kids getting out right now. And this is the building where it's believed the terrorists were renting 2 apartments. In fact, the landlord reportedly saying that they were calm, dressed well, and that they said they were here on business from Belgium. Across the street, as school let out late today, we talked to this mother picking up her child. Do you know they were staying here in this building? We are all stunned. We have learned everything on TV, she told us. We're just here to pick up the children and try to move on with a normal life. And this grandmother here for pickup too. Shocked. Thank you for watching here on a Tuesday night. I'm David Muir.
This is a special edition of World News Tonight with David Muir, reporting tonight from Paris.
And good evening from Paris, and we begin tonight with that daring and deadly raid that lasted 7 hours here in Paris. We were there in the early morning hours today. SWAT teams showed up in the dark, a massive operation, and tonight a French prosecutor saying they likely stopped another terror plot. 8 arrests, 5 officers injured. Tonight we take you right to that building. While back at home in the U.S., the New York City Police Department now responding to an ISIS message with an image of Times Square behind it. But we begin with the new images here in Paris of that takedown in this city. This morning, when the sun came up, the explosions could still be heard, and the ambulances were lined up prepared for anything. As you can see, along with the heavy police presence, there's also a number of ambulances here at the scene as investigators go through that building. And we went to meet some of the stunned neighbors ourselves. They witnessed it all. Through the door up the stairs, we meet Diana Decour, who told me she was jolted from bed by the explosions. Did they tell you to close the windows?
Yes, to close the windows and to stay at home.
We also went to get a look at the building, climbing onto a roof across the way. Just looking at the building, you can see the sheer force of the firepower in the early morning hours here in Paris. Not only is every window blown out, but you can see the signs of impact against the cement wall there behind us. And we thank you for watching here on a Wednesday night, a windy night here in Paris. I'm David Muir. We hope to see you right back here tomorrow. Good night. And finally tonight, raising a glass in defiance. It happens once a year here. But this year, they debated whether to do it. The winemakers in those red jackets driving proudly through Paris with their Beaujolais Nouveau. They say this year's harvest is the best in decades. It was a hot summer producing the perfect grape. But tonight, they say that's not what makes this vintage so special.
It reminded me, I've seen the images on television, of the French liberation, the Paris liberation in 1945. French flags on the cars. We were proud.
Let's hear it. Now that's the sound of Paris.
That's the sound of Paris.
At the bar, they consider this a triumph.
The bar is here since 1883.
This bar?
Yes, this bar. Not me, this bar. It's all like the restaurant, the cafe, the bar.
And finally, a toast to the people of Paris.
So, santé
to Paris.
To Paris.
To Paris. Thank you for watching here on a Thursday night and on this heavy news week. I'm David Muir.